Alright. Okay. Alright. Alright. So, welcome to the live stream, guys. This will be my last video sort of live stream thing until next, I want to say next Thursday, because I am going to be on vacation from tomorrow to Wednesday. So this will be my last thing, and of course I'm starting a little bit early than I usually would, only like 30 minutes early. But yeah, on this one I'll be talking about Everything Everywhere All at Once. I watched that movie yesterday, so I'm going to be giving my review for that. I wanted to save my whole review thing for this live stream specifically, so because I don't want to make a review for it on YouTube Shorts, because I have a ton of stuff to say about it. And then after I give my review for Everything Everywhere All at Once, which would probably take up 30-40 minutes of the stream, I'm going to be ranking. Hold on, let me show you guys. I will be ranking the MCU, which I think I already did in my last live stream, but it's gonna be longer, and I'm gonna give more detail about why I put things where I put them. I'm going to be ranking all the Star Wars things that I've seen, because right now I have not watched the Rebels movie, I haven't watched Rogue One, I haven't watched Solo, I watched like a few episodes of The Bad Batch, so I have to finish that sometime later. I've watched some episodes of the Clone Wars, but I find it pretty boring, but I'm 100% like, I've already convinced myself I'm going to finish Clone Wars when I get back from my vacation. So I'm going to try to finish a lot of Clone Wars when I get back, so I'll have that down and be able to move on. And then I'll do Rebels. I saw a little bit of Rebels when I was younger, but that's besides the point. So and then we're going to rank some of the DC films. So I have not, next week actually. It's a funny thing that I'm doing this, because next week I'm actually gonna watch Shazam and Aquaman, because those are the two I have not seen on here. I haven't seen Birds of Prey or Suicide Squad. I think I'll watch those later, but right now I'm watching Aquaman and Shazam next week, and Joker, so that should be good. I won't be able to do those this time though. I'll do them whenever I do another ranking. So I'll change the rankings on the bottom right now to scene. Haven't seen. Alright, so yeah. So I think I'm gonna start kicking things off right here, right now, guys. So here we go. My review for Everything Everywhere All at Once. There's gonna be spoilers, but yeah, I watched it yesterday. I want to tell you that was a cool movie. It was really cool. I mean, Everything Everywhere All at Once, in my opinion, has a hey Sammy Kawami, what's up? But yeah, Everything Everywhere All at Once was, in my opinion, a better multiverse story than Doctor Strange. I mean, I thought that like the whole meaning behind it and like just the whole story in general was so much fun, and it had some of the weirdest things I've ever seen all combined into one movie. Like some of the stuff was so weird. Like, oh my god, all the stuff was kind of weird. But it was very entertaining, and I think I'm still trying to debate if it's my second favorite movie of the year or if it's my favorite movie of the year, because I'm trying to debate it right now between the Batman, because the Batman is my #1 favorite movie of the year. So I think right now, just to play it safe, it'll be at #2. But I'm probably gonna make a video sometime next week about my top 5 favorite movies of the year so far. And Everything Everywhere All at Once will be on there. But I think Everything Everywhere All at Once is at least in my top 15 or top 12 favorite movies of all time. Maybe even my top 10. I don't know. I have to write my list about that. But yeah, I loved all the action. I loved going through all the different universes. It's funny how the universe where our main character, what's our main character? What's the main character's name? Why can't I remember that? What's the main character from Everything Everywhere at Once? His name? From Everything Everywhere at Once. I just want to know the name. Evelyn. Evelyn was her name. Okay. What does it say? What? Okay, that doesn't make any sense. Um, but yeah, Evelyn. I liked like how I liked all like seeing different versions of her throughout the whole story. Like I loved seeing the one of just her as like a movie star because they literally just showed clips of Michelle Yeoh, her on red carpets for some of the movies she's done and stuff. That was fun. The whole movie was just so like trippy. Um, in my opinion, that kind of stuff like Everything Everywhere All at Once was a little bit difficult to follow. I had to like refresh my memory every 1 or 2 minutes about what like how all that's happening and what's going on and stuff. Sammy Koami, I haven't seen most of the Star Wars stuff. Yeah, I've only really seen the live action movies. I just haven't watched Clone Wars, Rogue One, Solo, and Rebels. But yeah, I'm trying to watch that stuff too. I recommend watching the Star Wars stuff. Like, if you want, you can tell me in the chat what you haven't watched, so then I can tell you if it's good to watch or if it's not. But if it's some of the movies, then I recommend watching them. The movies are really good. But I mean, yeah, like I loved the movie. I mean, if you guys have seen this movie, Everything Everywhere at Once, so just leave your thoughts in the comments and leave your thoughts in the live chat and let me know how you thought about it, because it was such a better multiverse story than Doctor Strange. That's probably because it was like 20 minutes longer than Doctor Strange, because the movie was 2 hours and 30 minutes. The movie's rated R, but they don't show that much. They have violence in it. I mean, they have violence in it. But yeah, I mean, I thought like all the fights in the movie and stuff were so cool. I loved what's your name? What's no, oh my god, I keep forgetting the character's name. Evelyn. Yeah, I really liked Evelyn's husband in the movie. He was really good. The scene in the elevator when we had like no description of what's going on and stuff, I thought it was so funny. Like how he just like it was, yeah. Like how he just like when like and then he came back up and he was like a completely different person. I was writing down all this stuff for um for Evelyn to follow and stuff. Yeah, 2 hours and 19 minutes. Yeah. I don't. I'm still trying to debate if it's my favorite movie of the year or not. I honestly don't know yet. I have to put a lot of thought into that. And the budget was only 25 million, man. I'm just reading it like right there. It says the budget was only 25 million, and it was produced by the Russo brothers. So 25 million? How is that? How do you make such a good movie with only 25? I mean, I guess you can, but I think Sammy Koemi is the only one in my chat right now. So if you want to tell me, I mean, I'm not saying you have to, but if you want to tell me the Star Wars stuff that you haven't seen, I'd like that so I could know like why how like if we watch the same stuff, and if we haven't, because then that'll be perfect if we have. But yeah, like I really liked this movie. Everything Everywhere. It was good. It was really good. I mean, it was can't get over how weird that was. How weird everything was in the movie. It was kind of weird. Like it just everything in the movie was just yeah. Like like yeah. All right. Yeah, I mean, I loved how like this movie is sort of similar to Zack Snyder's Justice League. Has like they had parts like part one, part two, part three, part four. This movie has part one, part two, and part three. Which part one is everything, part two is everywhere, and then part three is all at once. Which makes sense. I mean, I really like it when movies do like parts like that in their movie. Yeah, like part one lasts like 50 minutes in the movie. Part one lasts like 50 minutes. Then I'd say part two lasts like 30 minutes, and then part three lasts like 5 to 10 minutes. But yeah. Oh my god, bruh. Jamie Lee Curtis's character was um Jamie Lee Curtis's character was so weird and funny. Yeah. I haven't seen anything after Force Awakens. Oh, so you haven't seen Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker, Mandalorian, Boba Fett, and Obi-Wan? I think that's and like Bad Batch and stuff. I recommend watching The Last Jedi. I think The Last Jedi's good. Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker is okay. I mean, if you want to watch that movie for like to understand the lore of Star Wars and stuff, I recommend watching The Rise of Skywalker. But other than that, I don't think you should watch that one. That one's kind of like not good. But I highly recommend that you start Mandalorian. Mandalorian is an amazing show. And Book of Boba Fett's good too. Book of Boba Fett and Obi-Wan Kenobi, I feel like are just good for watching them once. Like Book of Boba Fett and Obi-Wan Kenobi are just good for one-time watches. But Mandalorian is great. I recommend that a lot. I recommend that to you. But if you're gonna watch Mandalorian, then you kind of have to watch Boba Fett to understand season 3, which comes out in February. But you know, you have time to watch it until February when the 3rd season comes out. So yeah. But yeah, I really like the villain of this movie too. Joy Wang. She was basically oh, Boba Fett's your favorite character? I mean, you're asking me what my favorite Star Wars character is, then I'd have to go. Oh wow, there's so many good ones. Like I know Luke is up there. I think Vader, Darth Vader's up there. Mandalorian's up there too. Uh, that's a really difficult question. I'm trying to remember all the movies to figure out which like character I thought was the most entertaining or just good in general. Right now my mind immediately goes to Obi-Wan Kenobi as my favorite character, to be honest, because throughout all the movies I find him so much more entertaining than the other cast members. But you know, I thought the Obi-Wan Kenobi show was good. I've heard that there was like a I watched the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, but I've heard that there's like a 2.5 hour movie cut of the show that I tried to find. I couldn't find it, but I've heard it's way better than the show, and I thought the show was good. I thought episode 2 wasn't that good, and the same with episode 4, but you know. But yeah, like the main character of Everything Everywhere, I mean the main villain of Everything Everywhere All at Once was really good. I really liked that character a lot. But yeah. I really liked the villain of Everything Everywhere All at Once. I just loved all like the multiverse hopping, like hopping through all the multiverse and stuff. Like that just in my opinion was so like they did that so much better than Doctor Strange did, or I don't want to say it's better. They did it better than No Way Home, because to be honest, that movie doesn't deal with the multiverse as much as Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness does. So I don't think I'll count it. But yeah, I think right now I'll give Everything Everywhere All at Once a. It's either gonna be a 9.5 out of 10. It's either a 9.5 out of 10 or I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. I'm not sure which one. I was gonna give it a 10 out of 10. I think that it was that good. I mean, if you have like 2.5 hours to just watch something during your day or something, I recommend watching Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's such a good watch. Like I was into it the first frame. Like the first frame they showed, I was into it. See, this guy said it's in his favorite. I have to think about it. I mean, I don't know if I think it's in my top 10 favorite movies of all time, but it may be. Because I only know, right now, I only really know my top 3. I only really know my top 3 right now. Because those are the only 3 that I really focus on to think about. Like, oh, where does this go in my top 3 or something? Because my top 3 is number 1's Toy Story. Number 2 is Avengers Infinity War, and then number 3 is No Way Home. Have you tried Disney Infinity once? Once you would like it. Are you talking about the Disney Infinity video game with like those little figurines you put on the controller and stuff? Because, Disney, if you're talking about a video game, right? Disney Infinity game? I think so. If you're talking about the Disney Infinity video game, like I'll pull up I'll look up Disney Infinity, show you what I'm talking. Okay, you are talking about that. Okay. Um, um, I've tried. I mean, I remember I had a Wii U when I was like 6, and I had Disney Infinity on it. I bought like 2 Star Wars figures for it, but I ended up never using them. I tried setting up the game once or twice. Like I have the Star Wars stuff in there. I think I played like maybe the game for only like 10 minutes. Like I was playing as like one of the Star Wars characters in some mission, and then I just gave up because it wouldn't load or something. But yeah, I still have the figures. I mean, those things are honestly probably in the trash by now. But yeah, I have played it. Like I've had it on my Wii U, and then I don't think I played it ever since. So I at least haven't played the game in like 4 or 5 years. I have no idea. Yeah, at least 5 or 6 years actually. But yeah, 89% like this movie. Damn, I loved the dad. You know what the dad reminded me of and everything before at once. He kind of reminded me of Professor X. Like when he reminded me of Professor X in the sense how his chair was like so high tech and he could just move at like super speed and stuff. I thought that he was just eating pudding and upgrading his chair the whole time, which I thought it was so cool too, how like they basically shot the whole. I think they said they shot a majority of the movie in that giant building. Where'd that come? Where was Elon Musk born? I don't know. Earth. Oh, it was filmed in early 2020. What is the big? It took 30 days to film Everything Everywhere All at Once. 30 days? You have like 50 characters? Bro, that's your opinion. Oh. Wait, what do you mean by that? Well, what do you mean by that? That's your opinion. Are you talking about Disney Infinity or something else? I'm not sure. I'm kind of confused. Sorry. Bruh. This movie was really good though. Everything Everywhere All at Once I thought was top tier. It's top tier film. It's in like it's top tier. I can't I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact that it was like that good. Like that good. I think I'm going to talk about the film. Oh, you're talking about Disney Infinity? Yeah, I mean, I think I would have liked that game, to be honest, if I had played it more. If I had played it more when I had it, I think I would have liked it, but I sadly didn't play it that much. I was too focused on Mario Kart and Minecraft. I was too focused on Mario Kart and Minecraft and making fake friends on Nintendo Me, like making those little Me characters and stuff. But yeah. Um Debbie the dog mom was I thought that was so sad. How when that character literally had their dog with them and she was like she had the dog on the leash and was like twirling the dog around and whack. It was so weird. I felt bad when they cut the leash. The dog went flying across the room. That was so bad. Yeah. All right. I mean, I think that's all I have to say about Everything Everywhere All at Once. I mean, I loved this film. Again, I'll keep saying that. Like, I loved all like the story, like seeing different stories play out in each universe. How like she realized that marrying her husband was the best decision she's ever made, even though she thought it was her worst decision she's ever made. And yeah, like I'm shocked that this movie's on a $25 million budget. That's insane. But yeah, like I loved all the fight scenes too. The fight scenes in this movie were unbelievably good. Just unbelievably good. It's kind of crazy. Like it's some of the best fight scenes in a movie, I think. But you know, what else is there to say about this movie? It's amazing. I don't think I've said that enough. I think it's a really really amazing movie. But yeah, I mean, I watched it with my mom. She kind of thought it was a little bit silly and goofy and stuff. But yeah, I thought it was good. And the main reason why I was kind of intrigued. I mean, obviously, I was intrigued by the movie because so many people said that this is a great, fantastic movie. So, well, yeah, like reviews 4.4 out of 5. Huh. But yeah, like I just loved like one of the best. It's one of the best multiverse stories around. I make Disney scratches. If you stream Disney Infinity, I will post two for for people to sub to you. I'm so sorry. I don't really understand that. I don't understand what you mean by that. I'm so sorry. I don't get it. Um, but yeah, Everything Everywhere at Once is Rotten Tomatoes. It better be good. 95 and 89. Okay. Nice. 95 and 89. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I don't really get what you're trying to say. No, yeah, I get it's a typo. I just don't really know what you're trying to tell me. Yeah, I get it's a typo. I'm just not really understanding what you're trying to say. If you stream to Disney Infinity, I will make a scratch for people to sub to you. Am I reading? I'm reading that right. Oh, oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, this is what's the okay. Yeah, I love this movie a lot. I think that's all I have to say about this movie. That's all. Yeah, that's all I have to say about the movie. See, like, I like this guy. I liked him. He was so fun. He was so cool, and he was so funny. Yeah, yeah. I really thought this was good. It was a really, really fun movie to watch. I'm trying to look at all the characters now. All right, that's my review for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Overall, amazing movie. One of my top 15, 12 favorite movies of um, all time, and I'm pretty confident to say that it's my second favorite movie of the year, behind The Batman, but I'm also not 100% on that yet. But yeah, now we shall get into the ranking list, which is the main part of the stream. Alright, so, Sammy Kawami, have you watched any of the MCU movie, or anything MCU? Because there's like everything MCU on here. I just want to know before I start the ranking. If anybody else in the chat has seen the MCU, which is kind of a weird question to ask, but I mean, what can you do? What are you gonna do? All right. Okay, so I'm gonna start my ranking now. So Iron Man 1. Let's start the ranking. Iron Man 1. Nearly all of them. Okay. Iron Man 1. And then yeah, I gotta make a new tier for I haven't watched, even though I've watched all this. What's the point? Iron Man 1 goes on great tier. I love the movie. It's such a good kickoff to the MCU, and it like, even though they play it off as like sort of a one-off movie, they still set up the Avengers at the beginning, at the end of the movie with Nick Fury, and they set up, hey, we're doing a bigger universe than you can imagine and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I thought that movie was a great kickoff to an amazing film franchise. Um, and yeah, I thought Robert Downey Jr. was great, and it was a great introduction to Iron Man in general. Um, and yeah, the Incredible Hulk is a straight up meh. I wouldn't say it's a D tier because I sort of enjoyed the movie. I sort of enjoyed the Incredible Hulk, even though I've only watched it once, and I watched it right before Shang-Chi for the first time because I heard Abomination was in the movie, and he was, not that much, but you know, this movie's a meh. Would I rewatch it? No. If I was doing an MCU watch, I would definitely rewatch it with them, though, for somebody who hasn't seen Marvel movies. Alright, Iron Man 2 goes in trash. And if you tune into my live streams before, you absolutely know that I don't like Iron Man 2 at all, bro. I think the villain isn't great. I find it to be a very boring movie. Although it does have, although it does have some really cool Iron Man suit up moments, that does not win the movie over for me. I thought that Wolverine. I thought that War Machine was entertaining in the movie. It was definitely fun to watch him. And I thought that, of course, Robert Downey Jr. is being Robert Downey Jr. But yeah, it's not a great movie. Thor 1 goes in good. I actually really like Thor 1. It's a good way to introduce like gods and all that mythical kind of stuff to the MCU. I really enjoy that. I really enjoyed that kind of stuff, you know? Like, that's why I love like some of the Thor stuff so much, is because it deals so much with all these like sort of high level gods, I guess, high level villains, if you want to say too. But yeah, like I thought that this movie was really good. Although I didn't most of the time, sometimes not most of the time, sometimes I didn't really feel for Thor and Jane's relationship. The Thor Love and Thunder changed all that for me. So yeah. What's next? Captain America: The First Avenger. I personally think that's a great movie. Actually, I again watched it. Like I was doing a whole MCU watch with my family last year, and there was like I think it was Captain Marvel. It was Captain Marvel, Thor: The Dark World, Thor 1, Captain America 1, and The Incredible Hulk that I hadn't seen before. And I actually, when I first watched Captain America: The First Avenger, I was super like into it. I mean, I thought that seeing skinny Steve Rogers was one of the best parts of the movie because it was just so much fun to watch him be skinny until he gets all buff and stuff. But yeah, I like the villain too. The first Avengers goes in epic tier. That's gotta be one of the greatest. Like it had such a big build up with like Thor, with Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, Captain America, Thor, Hulk. It had such a big build up with all that, especially with Hawkeye being introduced in Thor and Black Widow being introduced in Iron Man 2. So yeah. Iron Man 3 is next. Alright, Iron Man 3 can go into a good tier. It was good. I mean, for the most part, it's entertaining. I enjoy watching the movie. I just like the movie in general. It's good. Again, I feel like one of the Iron Man movies' weaknesses, I guess, is sort of it has to be like their villains, because for me at least, even though I really like Iron Man 1's villain, Obadiah Stane, I just didn't really like Iron Man 2's villain with Whiplash, and I didn't really like the twist with Iron Man 3. I don't think a lot of people did. I thought it was hilarious, but once the movie's done, you're like, oh wow, that was kind of disappointing. But what are you gonna do? They redeemed themselves in Shang-Chi anyway, so it doesn't really matter anymore, at least. Thor: Dark World goes in meh. I know some people may be surprised, like, why isn't that going in trash tier? Well, it's because it has Thor: The Dark World has two strengths for me. It's Thor and Loki's relationship, and the aftermath of Avengers 1. Like, just seeing the aftermath of Avengers 1, Loki's consequences, even though it's very brief and we get barely anything about it, it's still entertaining to me seeing the aftermath of Avengers 1. So that's why it's on meh, because there's two things that I loved about this movie, which was Thor and Loki's relationship and the aftermath of Avengers 1. So that kind of pushes it up by only one tier for me, though. Captain America: The Winter Soldier goes on epic tier. I recently rewatched the movie, I think maybe 1.5 to 2 months ago. And I mean, that's not really that recently. But yeah, I really, really like the movie. It introduces the Falcon. We get the Winter Soldier. You get a Captain America, Nick Fury, and Black Widow team up, basically. And yeah, it's like a really good movie. It's unique when you compare it to all the other Marvel movies. It's just really good. And I would rewatch that movie any day. Any day. It's just entertaining to watch. It's just so good. Guardians of the Galaxy goes an epic tier. Marvel took a huge risk when they released this movie, and everybody was like, this is one of the greatest Marvel movies. Which, I mean, I guess that's with a lot of people who say that. For me, it's one of the greatest Marvel movies. Yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy 1 is one of the greatest Marvel movies, in my opinion. That's why it's on epic tier. Yeah, like, they took a huge risk. They had James Gunn direct it. The movie had a fantastic soundtrack. It had great characters. It had great humor. It had so much emotion in it, too. The movie's nearly perfect. I just don't really like the villain that much, to be honest. I love the movie. If the villain was great, it'd be a perfect movie, but the villain wasn't too great. He was good, but he wasn't great. Avengers Age of Ultron, uh, it has to go on great tier because because Avengers Age of Ultron is definitely better than Thor and Iron Man 3. I know that's probably not where Age of Ultron is for some people's lists, but Age of Ultron was the first MCU film I ever watched when I was like 6, and like yeah, it was one of the first MCU movies I watched, and I still love it to this day watching it. It's criminally overhated. Like, it's insane how overhated this movie, how all the hate this movie gets. It's undeserved. Did they do Ultron dirty? Yes. Other than that, I thought the movie that it was pretty good. Other than the fact that they kind of did Ultron dirty, I love the movie in general. Ant-Man goes on good. It was good. Entertaining, funny, yes. It's kind of like a good criminal crime sort of heist movie, I guess, because Ant-Man's a thief. So that was a unique factor for the MCU, which I liked. I liked all the characters. I liked all the creativity they did for it, with like him shrinking down, and he didn't grow. He didn't like go to like giant man size, right? In Ant-Man 1, I don't think he went to like giant man like he did in Civil War and Endgame and Ant-Man and the Wasp. You love the Ultron? Yeah, I liked him in Age of Ultron, but I loved him in What If. I thought that What If, even though I don't like What If a lot at all, basically, I thought they did Ultron justice in What If. But yeah, I thought Ultron was good in Age of Ultron. They could have made him more powerful. But yeah, what I was saying about Ant-Man, I love the movie. I love all the creativity they did with it. Yeah, I love the Weiss. The Weiss's narration is better. I prefer the Weiss's narrations over Korg's narrations, to be honest. But yeah, Civil War goes on epic. Civil War is great. It introduces Black Panther. It introduces Spider-Man. It doesn't feel like a Captain America movie. It feels more like an Avengers movie because you got Iron Man, Black Widow, Hawkeye. You've got a bunch of other characters, Black Panther, Spider-Man. You got all that stuff in there, so it doesn't feel like a Captain America movie, but it 100% is because it's in the title. But yeah, but if it doesn't feel like a Captain America movie at all. And I love the movie a lot. I don't know. I side with. I'm still on Team Iron Man. I always will be. But yeah, like, it was really good. That was the movie that I think that was the first time that when Ant-Man turned into Giant Man and stuff. But yeah, I love how, when you think about it, Age of Ultron and Civil War, more specifically Civil War. Oh, actually no. Let me explain this. So Age of Ultron had Ultron and the destruction of Sokovia. And then those events led to Civil War. And then Civil War led to the Avengers splitting up. And what happened when the Avengers split up? Thanos came. And then when Thanos came, half of the Avengers were on Wakanda, and the other half were on Titan. And guess what happened? They lost. Then they come together in Endgame, and they finally defeat them because they were together. So when you think about it, Age of Ultron has so much. Age of Ultron was kind of the movie that kind of pivoted the MCU. Like, oh, this is going to happen in the MCU now. So if Age of Ultron didn't happen, or if Ultron went right, we wouldn't have had Endgame. We'd have probably still had Infinity War, but we just wouldn't have had Endgame, because they would have been together. And we wouldn't have had Civil War. But, yeah. Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is good. I recently rewatched it before Multiverse of Madness, and it's better than I expected it was. To be honest, it was better than I initially thought when I watched it. Um, Entertaining. I love it. It's so trippy too, like because you're going through all the different dimension stuff. You know, it's just really good. I still think Doctor Strange. I still think this movie, Doctor Strange, is better than Multiverse of Madness. To be honest, I think Multiverse of Madness gets overhated a lot, though. I'm not a huge fan of Multiverse of Madness. Not because I didn't get the cameos I wanted or anything. I just wasn't a huge fan of it. But Multiverse of Madness gets overhated a lot, and sadly, I think I'm one of the people that overhated a lot. But still, I enjoy Multiverse of Madness. It's good. I don't like what they did with some of the characters in the movie, but but yeah, like yeah, we're not talking about Multiverse of Madness yet. So Doctor Strange 1 was really good. It left us on a cliffhanger that basically went to nothing with Mordo saying no more sorcerers, which they were gonna continue that in Multiverse of Madness, but then they cut it. But yeah, I love Doctor Strange a lot. It was a really good movie. It's really good. It's really entertaining and stuff. I just didn't really like the villain of it that much. Again, like I don't really like the villains of these movies, to be honest. Like some of them, like I loved Zemo in Civil War. I loved Yellow Jacket and Ant-Man. Just some of them were eh. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 goes in great. I just realized that like the rest of these Marvel movies are gonna be like sort of in good, great, and epic. Well, there's gonna be like 4 of them that don't go there, but yeah. Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, I think that's another movie that gets overhated because it's personally I think a step up from Guardians of the Galaxy 1 in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways, just not on the emotional way and not on like the new uniqueness kind of way. It's way more funnier. It has a lot of action. It's one of the most colorful and bright MCU movies I think that we've gotten to date, behind Thor Ragnarok and Thor Love and Thunder, obviously. But yeah, yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is great. You have no idea how hyped I am for like Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and the holiday special. I'm so hyped for both of those. Like, yeah, I'm sad that those are probably going to be the last 2 things we get with the Guardians altogether. But I'm trying to enjoy it while we can. That's why I try to enjoy them in Love and Thunder before we lose them next May. I'm not saying they're gonna die, but I just have a feeling because it's James Gunn's last movie and it's Dave Bautista's last movie as Drax, so I don't know. But yeah, Spider-Man: Homecoming goes on great tier. I love the villain. I love the villain. I love Tom Holland as Spider-Man. He's my second. Well, I don't like ranking the Spider-Man, so I'm not even gonna say that. He's a really good Spider-Man. I don't know why people complain that Iron Man's in the movie too much. The thing I'd complain about is how much Robert Downey Jr. got paid to be in the movie for like 5 minutes. But like yeah. Surprisingly, over time, since we've gotten so many more Spider-Man suits, the Spider-Man Homecoming suit has kind of gone down in like my I like this suit a lot kind of ranking. Because I loved the Homecoming suit, but now that they've come out with like the integrated suit, the black and gold suit, the Far From Home suit, which was my favorite Spider-Man suit of all time, right next to Andrew Garfield's TASM 2 suit. But yeah, like I loved Ned in the movie. I really liked a lot of the stuff about the movie. It felt like a movie version of Miss Marvel on the level of relatability that it had. So, because he's just a kid. So, all right, Thor Ragnarok goes in epic. Thor Ragnarok is amazing. It's funny. It's dark. It's emotional. It has so much action in it. It has the Hulk in it, so I don't know where you can go wrong with that. But yeah, like this movie has so many good things about it. I can't think of one bad thing. I can't really think of one bad thing for Thor Ragnarok, to be honest. What would be one? I wish Valkyrie got more screen time. That's it. Yeah, I don't have much to say about Thor Ragnarok besides the fact that it's great. It's a great movie. Great movie. Black Panther goes in epic tier. Great tier. I love this movie a lot. Black Panther 2. Black Panther 2's I don't think will live up to the hype. Uh but I'm really excited for it. I just feel like the fact that obviously Chadwick Boseman isn't with us, so that was one bad thing about the movie, but in general that just wasn't good. Um, in general, just losing him wasn't great. But yeah, then the fact that they decided to not recast him, which in the moment was like, okay, I respect that. But then it was also like, why don't you just recast him? Because now not only do you have your main actor gone, you have the main character gone too. Unless what I think they're gonna do is give Shuri the title of Black Panther. So I think that's what they're gonna try to do, give Shuri the title of Black Panther, which is what I think should happen. Even though some people are like, bring Killmonger back to life. Like, what's that gonna do? But yeah, overall I love the movie a lot. I planned on rewatching it last night, but I didn't have time to. I will probably rewatch it next week. Alright. Avengers Infinity War. Are you kidding me? Avengers Infinity War is my favorite Marvel movie of all time. Avengers Infinity War. Sorry, my phone died. No, man, no problem. It's fine. Yeah. You're fine, man. Your phone died, it's fine. It's okay that I think we left for a second because your phone died, but it's fine. I'm not mad. Anyway, Avengers Infinity War is my favorite MCU movie, favorite Marvel movie of all time. I love it a lot. Yeah, I have nothing to say besides it is amazing. It's just so good to see all the characters come together and stuff from all the movies. Like, it's such a good build up and stuff. Like, I love how Marvel kind of took a risk and made the heroes not win in the end. That's gotta be one of the best things that they've done. If not the best, besides introducing the X-Men and Miss Marvel. Spoiler. Sorry. But yeah. Yeah, I have nothing really to say about Avengers Infinity War. Avengers Infinity War is a 10 out of 10 for me. Ant-Man and the Wasp is, meh. Ant-Man and the Wasp isn't great. Neither is it good. But neither is it trash. It's kind of in the middle of bad. You know, I'm going to change this to terrible so it makes more sense. Because trash, you're going to see terrible. That's not how you spell. I'm so stupid. Terrible and meh. You know what? Yeah, bad. Yeah, like, Ant-Man and the Wasp isn't great at all. It has some good jokes. It introduces the Wasp for the first time. I personally like the villain of the movie more than most people. But, you know, I think she's going to be part of the Thunderbolts. I hope that Ghost is a part of the Thunderbolts when they make that movie. But you never know. I don't know if she will be or not. One of my favorite parts of that movie is how Hank Pym kept shrinking down this lab into like a little suitcase. That was kind of funny. And it's creative. Captain Marvel, I think, is terrible. It's very boring. I like couldn't really pay attention to that movie when I watched it. It was just kind of boring. It was very boring. And it was so disappointing too to find out how Nick Fury lost his sight in his eye of the stupid cat scratch, like stupid cat scratching his eye. Like, it's kind of, I mean, they did do a good twist with like the Skrulls being good, but you know, Yeah. Alright, that's all I'm gonna say about that movie. I'm excited for the Marvels, though. After Miss Marvel, I'm kind of excited for the Marvels now. Infinity Avengers Endgame goes on Epic, but it's gonna go behind Infinity War because that movie was okay. Avengers Infinity War was okay. Avengers Endgame was amazing. I love it a lot. It's a great conclusion to like what is it, like a 11-year story, an 11-year build up with the MCU. Great conclusion to that. Um, Great conclusion to like an 11-year MCU build up. Um, Although I actually did like Captain Marvel and Endgame though. Captain Marvel, so yeah, Captain Marvel's very overrated. But yeah, I liked Captain Marvel in Endgame though. I thought she was good. She was good in Endgame, but she wasn't even really in it that much. But you know, it's fine. I loved the movie. I loved all the characters. I just loved it. I love all the time travel stuff going back to like 2012, the first Avengers, um, going back to Thor the Dark World era. Where else did we go? We went to Guardians of the Galaxy 2014. We went to Vormir, you know, all those places. But yeah, Avengers Endgame is really really good, and I loved how like they had Thanos from a different universe come and try to stop them. Like how they kind of how they kind of like trick you with Thanos at the beginning, saying like, oh, he's a farmer now, and he doesn't have the stones. What are we gonna do now? And then they chop his head off, and then you're like, okay, so is this movie basically just gonna be them trying to get everybody back, which is what you think, and then you see all the side, like the Thanos storyline going on the side, 2014 Thanos and stuff. Then you're like, oh, that one's gonna fight them. Far From Home goes on bad. Far From Home just wasn't that great. Far From Home's enjoyable. It has my favorite Spider-Man suit. It has a really cool villain. Other than that, I didn't really like the movie that much. I used to think when I was just biased towards Spider-Man, I was like, oh, Spider-Man Far From Home is my favorite movie, and all Tobey Maguire movies suck. But that's because I was stupid then. And now I think that the Tobey Maguire movies are great. Besides Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man 3 is okay, I guess. But yeah, Far From Home is not that great. It's bad. It's bad. It's not terrible. WandaVision is great. No, WandaVision's good. WandaVision's good. I like that. I love the show a lot. Really good, really suspense. Like it's. I love theorizing about WandaVision throughout like each and every week stuff. One thing I didn't like one thing that doesn't make me put it on great tier is the fact that Evan Peters Quicksilver turned out to be a Ralph Boner joke, which was kind of just Marvel saying "f you" to the fans, basically. But yeah, like everything else, I love. Like I love going through all the different decades and eras and stuff of television. I just loved all the mystery to it. Theorizing about Mephisto was so much fun. It's just a running joke now, especially because Iman Vellani just said she wants Mephisto as the main villain of Phase 4 in her like Reddit Ask Me Anything thing yesterday, which was really funny. Falcon and Winter Soldier is great. I know some people in my chat, in my comments on my MC ranking video, like ranking all the shows and stuff, they were like, "Is this a joke?" and all that for the Falcon and Winter Soldier being my number one favorite Disney Plus show. It's not, because I love that show, and it's my opinion, so I can say what I want about it. But yeah, I just loved Falcon and Winter Soldier. I thought every single episode was perfect. In my opinion, I don't think there's a bad episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier. In fact, I think my favorite episode is episode 5. That's just such a good episode. It's such a powerful episode. And the reason why I've like been saying in some of my YouTube shorts that I'm super hyped for Captain America 4 is because of Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like There's this whole thing going around on Twitter the other day saying like, "Oh, Sam Wilson's not my Captain America." Like, okay, he's not your Captain America. Okay, you're gonna have to deal with him being the MCU's Captain America. So, jeez. Hopefully we get a Captain America 4 update next week at Comic Con. And there was a leak for Comic Con that went out about the stuff they'll talk about. And I gotta say, if it's true, then it's insane what they're gonna talk about. I don't think it's true. But yeah, I'm not gonna say anything so I don't spoil Comic Con for you guys. But there's a good chance that it's not true at all, what I read. Like, some of the stuff just sounded too good to be true in that leak. Like, yeah, Loki goes on epic tier. Again, I didn't think there was a single bad episode of this show. I mean, one thing I didn't mention with Falcon Winter Soldier is that I thought that Loki got, like, unbelievably lucky. Loki and Falcon Winter Soldier got unbelievably lucky with the fact that they were, with the fact that they had 6 episodes. I thought Ms. Marvel got lucky with that too. But, yeah. Loki and Falcon Winter Soldier got very, very lucky with 6 episodes. Loki was the thing that kind of set up all the multiverse stuff anyway. It was so much fun to theorize about Loki too. Like, it was so cool to see Kang, the one above all, I guess, variant of Kang, and the TVA and all that stuff. And it's kind of funny to think now, like, in the Loki season 2 set photos we've been getting, there's like a picture of Sylvie in a 70s McDonald's outfit, which is kind of weird. Like, are we gonna see a variant of Sylvie that works out of McDonald's? Which I think that would be hilarious. But, you know, I love Loki a lot. So, all right, Black Widow goes on bad. Black Widow is bad. I mean, like I said in like my MCU Phase 4 ranking video like a week ago. At this point, it was my least favorite because in the moment it was entertaining, and the hype towards it was incredible because I had so much fun with the hype building up to the movie and stuff. But, you know, looking back on it, I'm glad I didn't pay $20 for Disney Plus Premier Access to watch it, to watch it again, because I saw it in the theaters in IMAX. But yeah. And it was my first time going to see an IMAX movie. But yeah, in the moment it was great. I thought they didn't do Taskmaster justice at all in that movie. I thought they did him pretty bad, actually. Like, not that Taskmaster was a girl in the movie or anything. I have no problem with that. I just thought that the way they did Taskmaster was kind of weird and not good. But something that I would love that Marvel did was if they made like sort of like a Taskmaster program, and that she was part of it, that the main Taskmaster that runs it is the Taskmaster, because I would love to see an actual, like, good Taskmaster in, like, the Thunderbolts or something. He would be a character that's perfect for the Thunderbolts. But, yeah. Hold on, I gotta move some of these so that I can, review them in timeline order when they released. Alright. Alright, so, What If? What If is terrible. What If is not good at all. You know, here and there, it was like, okay, episode 2 with T'Challa as Star-Lord was great. I loved that episode a lot. And then the following episode with episode 3 of What If the Avengers all died or something, I thought that was a great one too. They did a great job with that one. Episode 4 with Doctor Strange was really good. Episode 5 and 6 were disappointing and boring. Episode 7 was boring too. But episode 8 and 9 were okay. I didn't really like episode 1 at all either. But yeah, I love episode 1. I love episode 2, 3, and 4. But all the other episodes are meh. Like, I thought What If was gonna turn out to be good. I thought it was gonna be like, oh, it'll have one bad episode. And then, because I was like, oh, the past 3 weeks with What If have been really good with episode 2, 3, and 4. But then everything just kind of fell off and they started to connect everything to the MCU and stuff in the last few, which I didn't really like because one of my hopes and what it seemed it would be like was I thought it was just going to be what I would have liked What If to be was an episode where we just get 9 episodes and each episode is a what if for each different universe, and maybe continue that what if in a season 2 or something, which I think is what they're doing with Captain Carter. But that's not what it was because Marvel likes to connect everything, and with shows like What If, they just really work that well, at least for me. Alright, Shang-Chi is great. I recently rewatched that movie like a week ago, last Saturday, and I, for some reason, didn't like Shang-Chi when I first saw it, which is so stupid of me. But yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah. What are you wearing? I just posted a question in the chat. Alright. But yeah, Shang-Chi was really good. I loved the movie a lot. Very entertaining. Has some of the best, if not the best fights in the MCU. All the martial arts stuff I loved a lot. It was really, really good. But, yeah. Yeah. Shang-Chi was really good. I, yeah. Shang-Chi's really, really good. But, I don't really like the Mandarin villain as much as people say they do, but I still think he's a pretty good villain. He's like a top 5 Marvel villain for me, but yeah. Um, yeah. I just don't really like how they included um the soul-sucking monsters at the end. Like it would have like that was kind of just something like wanted to add in. I mean, I thought that the story would have been perfect if the father was just hearing voices in his head that were of his wife, and then the voices were telling him to go to Talo and destroy the place and stuff. That would have been fine. I just thought they kind of squeezed in the soul sucking monsters at the end. Like it would have just been good if it was Shang-Chi versus his dad without the mind sucking things. I keep wanting to say Mind Flayer, but that's from Stranger Things. But yeah, but then we wouldn't have gotten the dragon. So the dragon was freaking awesome. I'm hoping that they announce a Shang-Chi 2. I don't think they'll do that at Comic-Con. Hopefully they announce a Shang-Chi 2 at D23. That would be a lot of fun if they did that, because then I'd be like, let's go. They confirmed Shang-Chi. No, they confirmed the 10 Rings will return. They didn't say Shang-Chi will return. Sammy Koami said great. Okay, thank you, man. I'm glad you agree with my ranking. Most of my rankings so far. This is where I don't know if you'd agree with me. I put Eternals on good. Only because I would put it on great, but when you're comparing Eternals to Falcon and Winter Soldier, Black Panther, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and stuff, it deserves to stay good. I mean, Eternals I was not excited for one bit when I was going to see it. But when I went to go see that movie, I was so surprised with how good it was. I was just like in complete shock that it was that as good as I thought it was. Like it was really entertaining. Marvel took a lot of risks with it, and they had a completely different tone than they usually do in the Marvel movies. But oh, you haven't seen Eternals? I mean, I don't know if I'd recommend it to somebody because majority of the people say it's kind of in the middle. Like it's sort of good, sort of bad, but I don't know. You can watch. I mean, I recommend watching it because it's really good. It has some of the best visuals in Marvel, in any Marvel project in general. Like it has some of the best visuals of anything. Um, yeah, it has a lot of great characters. There's a one of my complaint one of like the 2 or 3 complaints I have about this movie, or 5 complaints. I have no idea the number of complaints I have with it. But one of my complaints is that it has too much characters. It had way too many characters in the movie, though. Like, how many Eternals are on that poster? How many Eternals were there in the movie? What the hell? Where are in the MCU? 10. They introduced 10 new characters. They introduced 10 new characters in one movie, plus Dane Whitman and the Celestials and the Deviants. I'm not going to say anything about the post-credit scene of the movie because Sammy Koemi has not seen it yet. So, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, Eternals is good. I really like the movie. I really like it. I've definitely been meaning to rewatch it soon. Like, I can't watch it anytime soon because I'm going away. But yeah, like, I've been meaning to rewatch this movie, and I think I'm going to in the next coming weeks. So yeah, um, oh, you mean it's fine that I talk about oh, well, I'm moving on to the next one anyway. The post-credit scene doesn't really change my opinion on the movie, so it's a really, really good post-credit scene, and it sets up, since you say it's fine, I guess I'll say it. It sets up Blade in a really nice way, in a really good way. Kind of makes Blade a Nick Fury kind of figure, but that doesn't really change my opinion on the movie in general. So it doesn't change. I mean, it gets me excited for Blade, but it doesn't really change my opinion on the Eternals movie. And I still have to watch the Blade movies and Mahershala Ali. I have to do that too. Hawkeye, I think, is terrible. Let me say the things that I loved about it, though. I loved Yelena, as always. I like her. I loved her in Black Widow too. Um, I loved Jeremy Renner's Clint Barton Hawkeye. He definitely felt like a character I would assume like after all the stuff he's been through, the way he acts in the show is just like makes sense. How he just wants to retire and hang out with his family and stuff, you know. But I loved Haley Steinfeld as Kate Bishop too. I loved the Christmas vibes of the show. It's like because the show was coming out around Christmas time, I loved that because it was just so fun to see Christmas stuff, you know, like just see all the Christmas stuff. But I thought the show was entertaining as it was going on, but I thought that the last two episodes were kind of iffy. Like episode 5 and 6 was kind of iffy. Like I didn't really like how they did Kingpin in those last two episodes. They obviously didn't kill him, though. I mean, because in the comics, he gets shot by Echo, and then he goes blind for a temporary time, and then his sight comes back and stuff. And he's rumored to be in the Echo series anyway. Well, I think he was confirmed. So was Daredevil. Daredevil was confirmed to be in that series, too. But yeah, not a huge fan of Hawkeye. There's some things I loved about it, but there's also a way bigger list of things I did not like about it. No Way Home goes on Epic, for obvious reasons. Toby and Andrew come back. They bring back all the villains. They bring in Matt Murdock, Charlie Cox. It's just, what else is there to say about the movie? One thing that I was worried about with No Way Home going into it, though, is the fact that they lean too much into nostalgia and be like, ooh, look at Toby and Andrew. Ooh, you guys like that, right? We don't care about the story anymore. We just want to show you these guys. But no, I like how they actually put them in the movie, and they had actual big roles in the movie, and I like how overall Tom Holland's Spider-Man was the main focus of the movie, even when they were in it. He was still the main focus. He was still the main Spider-Man, and I love that. I love how they decided for the movie to not lean too much into the nostalgia of Tobey and Andrew and all the returning villains, and how they still kept it a Tom Holland Spider-Man-centric film. That is one of my favorite parts about it. I love a bit too much about No Way Home. But one thing that I love too is how Doctor Strange wasn't a huge part of the movie. Because if he was, I bet you people have complaints saying he's going to be Spider-Man's mentor. Which prior to the movie, people were like, oh, Doctor Strange is going to be Spider-Man's mentor in this film, like Tony and Nick Fury were in his other two Spider-Man movies. But he wasn't. Peter had no mentor in this movie, and I loved that. That kind of just put him on his own. He fought Doctor Strange. I don't think you'd fight your mentor. But yeah. I loved the new suit that they have at the end. At the end of the movie, too. That is a great suit. It's a great suit. I'm still waiting for them to reveal a hot toy for it though. A hot toy or a Funko Pop. Speaking of that stuff, they just revealed the new Hasbro figures. They revealed the new Hasbro figures for Tom, Toby, and Andrew. See, like guys, look at this. That's the Toby Maguire figure. This Andrew Garfield figure is insane. And then you got this crazy Tom Holland figure too. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know about you, but it's $90. A $90 Hasbro bundle that doesn't come out for another year. I don't know if it's worth it. But yeah. No Way Home is a top tier. It's one of I still think that Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is my favorite Spider-Man film, but I think this movie's number 2. Spider-Man 2 being number 3, and then so on and so on. Moon Knight. Now let's talk about Moon Knight. Moon Knight was good. Okay? Moon Knight was good. I'll leave it at that because I thought Moon Knight was good. It was good. I thought the first episode was freaking awesome. It was a really good episode. Episode 2 is okay. Episode 3 was good. Episode 4 was amazing. Episode 5 was amazing. But then episode 6 was kind of like they kind of just crammed everything they wanted to into one like 35, 38 minute finale, which I thought was kind of just why? Like, I know Kevin Feige and Marvel don't really have control on how long the shows are now because of Disney and stuff, but can you at least make the show, like, if they had made Moon Knight, like, two or three more episodes longer, then I would have loved the show. It would have been, like, my favorite Marvel show. I think right now it's, like, my number 5, my 5th favorite Marvel show. It's right above Hawkeye and What If, but, yeah. Alright, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Oh god, where do I put it? Do I put it on good or do I put it on bad? Oh no. Oh no, where do I put it? It's not going in terrible. Multiverse of Madness is not terrible. The movie's good, but it's also not great. So I think it's gonna go in good for now. Like Doctor Strange 2 is good. I loved the cameos in it, obviously. Like, I love Black Bolt, Professor X, Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, Captain Marvel, Captain Carter. The one thing that I didn't like, though, is I didn't really like how they handled Wanda being a villain. That was kind of just... I'm not going to say it was random, because they definitely set it up like that. I just thought that Wanda as a villain was kind of okay. It was okay. It wasn't as good as I expected it to be. Doctor Strange was good in it. I mean, I loved that. I loved all of that stuff about it and stuff. America Chavez was great. I thought Xochitl Gomez did great as America Chavez. But yeah. I did not like the 2 post-credit scenes. So, I don't like either one. Because the first one kind of ruined the ending to the film, and yeah. Alright, Thor Love and Thunder is great. I love Thor Love and Thunder a lot. But I also, I have a number of things I loved about it, but I also have a number of things I hated about it. Like, I'll just give you guys a little taste of what I like and what I don't like about it. What I like about it is I like the comedy, I like the action, I thought the emotion hits when it has to. When it wants to get emotional, it gets emotional, and it gets serious. I loved all the characters in the movie, especially Valkyrie. I loved Zeus. I loved the post-credit scenes. It was such a good refresher to see 2 good post-credit scenes, especially after Doctor Strange. The stuff I don't like is that, and I love Gore the God Butcher, but the stuff I don't like is that we didn't get enough Gore the God Butcher. We didn't get enough of him butchering gods. I thought there was maybe a little bit too much comedy in Thor Love and Thunder. I thought they could have been a little bit more serious, but And I also wish we got to see more Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, I know that this is not Guardians of the Galaxy Love and Thunder. It's Thor Love and Thunder, so it's Thor's the main character. But the Guardians of the Galaxy, they tease them a lot in the trailers. And if you haven't seen the movie, I don't know why you're still here, but if you I don't know why you're still here if you haven't seen Thor: Love and Thunder, but yeah, like in the trailers they basically show you everything you see in the movie of the Guardians of the Galaxy, which is disappointing. But yeah, like I did love the post credit scenes where they set up Hercules, Hercules going after Thor, and what was the second one? The second one they showed Jane entering Valhalla and meeting Heimdall, which was amazing. Yeah. Yeah, I love Jane in this movie too. Like, it was really cool. I really liked her as Mighty Thor. Yeah. Really solid movie. Thor Love and Thunder probably gets an 8 out of 10 for me. Very, 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 very solid movie. Miss Marvel has to go on great too. Miss Marvel is great. I love I loved Miss Marvel so much. Like, not only does it set up all like the X-Men and stuff in the MCU, which was unbelievably crazy, it just set up so much for the MCU, and it was just such a good refresher for a relatable show that I kind of needed. So yeah, Miss Marvel is probably. I mean, I already put it in my ranking list. It's my fourth favorite MCU show. It goes Falcon Winter Soldier, Loki, WandaVision, Miss Marvel, Moon Knight, Hawkeye, What If. So yeah, I love Miss Marvel a lot, and I'm hyped for the Marvels. The Marvels is gonna be so much fun. Because that post credit scene set up a lot. But yeah, alright guys, that's my MCU ranking. Um, I'll leave it up to you guys. Do you think my final ranking is a W or L? Is my final a W or a... But yeah, like this is my final MCU ranking. I feel very, very confident about most of it. I don't usually do like I don't usually put like, let's say for example, I don't usually like put Guardians of the Gal, like if I had to, I don't usually put Guardians of the Gal, like if I had to, I wouldn't put like, if I said, oh, I love Guardians of the Galaxy a little bit more than Civil War, I won't like put Guardians of the Galaxy above Civil War. I don't really do that, so I wouldn't base it off of me putting stuff above it and stuff. But yeah, that's my final MCU ranking, guys. So if you want me to go back to it later in the stream, I will. But for now, I'm gonna move on to my Star Wars rankings. And I'm going to start out by putting the stuff I haven't seen and haven't seen. So I have not seen this. Haven't seen Solo. Haven't watched whatever that show is. I haven't seen Rogue One yet. I haven't seen Clone Wars yet. And I have not seen that stuff yet. Alright, so let's start out. I'm going to go in timeline order. So I need to organize this. Hold up. Oh, where does Mandalorian go? I think Mandalorian goes like right here in the timeline, and so does Boba Fett. Then Obi-Wan Kenobi takes place, I think, like here, and then that. I think that's how it goes, right? That's the rank. That's the thing. So the Phantom Menace, I probably put on a B tier. Very enjoyable movie. I loved it. I actually really liked it. It was my first time watching it, maybe like a month ago. Jar Jar Binks is one of the most annoying ass characters in Star Wars, in any movie in general. He's so annoying. I was just getting pissed off at him. Like he was just stupid annoying. Like he was unbelievably annoying. I loved one of the things I loved about the prequels is how it set up Anakin, especially this movie with young Anakin and stuff. Like I really liked that a lot. Alright, Clone Wars I think goes on a C tier, which is probably gonna be the lowest tier for the stuff I have seen. Um it just wasn't I was pretty bored during it. You know, they introduced Django and Boba Fett in that movie. They set up Clone Wars and stuff. But yeah, it's overall a pretty boring movie in my opinion. But you know, that's just me. It's boring, but it's good because I think one of the best parts about it is Anakin and Obi-Wan's relationship, how they interact with each other and stuff, and how you can slowly start to see Anakin turn towards the dark side. Um, Revenge of the Sith goes on the B tier. I love this movie a lot. Very iconic. Um, this shows Anakin straight up go to the dark side and stuff. You know, I really loved that. Um, yeah, and it showed him suiting up as Darth Vader. I liked Obi-Wan Kenobi in this. I liked a lot of characters in this. This is where we see Padme give birth to Luke and Leia. And then we see where they go, where they bring the babies and all that stuff, which was fun to see, you know. And yeah, it was overall a good movie. And then, of course, it leads into Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi, I'll probably still put on a B tier. Obi-Wan Kenobi is good, but again, I think that's what I'm gonna do this for Star Wars for the Star Wars ranking, where I put I'll put Obi-Wan Kenobi above Revenge of the Sith in this way. Obi-Wan Kenobi is better than Revenge of the Sith. As it takes place like a sometime after, where Obi-Wan's like in Tatooine, because everything's always in Tatooine when it comes to Star Wars. But yeah, it's like Obi-Wan's at Tatooine. The whole story is basically him trying to get Leia back to what's it called? What's it called? I don't remember her planet. Damn. What is planet called? Alderaan. Oh my god, how am I that stupid? Yeah, like I loved how like the whole show was just trying to get her back to Alderaan and all that stuff. It was really cool. I didn't think that was gonna be the main part of the story. Like I thought that'd be like the first 3 episodes or something. But yeah, I love seeing Vader and Obi-Wan fight. They fought like twice. I love seeing Vader's helmet get sliced and stuff, you know. Naboo? No. No, I think it was Alderaan. You're trying, yeah, it's Alderaan. I just looked it up. But yeah. Yeah. And then that's all I have to say about the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. I really liked the Obi-Wan Kenobi show overall. Really good. Really, really good. You know, I just didn't like episode 2 or episode 4. I thought some of the other episodes were a little bit weak, but I thought the finale, I thought the first episode, and I thought that the third episode were amazing. Just even though I loved those 3 episodes, some of they still have their weak spots, and it's kind of frustrating considering how Star Wars has been going on for 45 years. They should probably have it down, have like great stuff down by now, have at least good or great content now. But I'm not gonna expect a lot from Star Wars because I don't want to get my hopes up for something. I phrased that wrong. I'm not gonna get my hopes up expecting that a Star Wars project is gonna be the next best Star Wars thing. But A New Hope goes on S tier. I loved the movie. It was the first Star Wars movie to ever release. I still think it holds up a little bit. I thought the fighting in it was a little bit weird. I'm talking about that Vader versus Obi-Wan fight. Oh my god, that was kind of silly. It's kind of weird to be honest, because it was like they were like fighting so slowly. Like it was just kind of weird. I don't know. I haven't watched A New Hope in a long time, so I don't know if I'm remembering it right. But yeah, I loved A New Hope a lot. It's kind of like, yeah, it's what I started with when I started to watch Star Wars with my parents when I was like 6. It's what we started with, obviously. I don't think we didn't watch any of the prequels though, for some reason. But yeah. Alright, Empire Strikes Back is infinitely better than A New Hope. It is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's the best Star Wars movie in my opinion. It is just super amazing. It's top tier for anything, for sci-fi, for Star Wars, for my favorite movies of all time. Like, it's just top tier in general. Yeah, I just don't have that much to say about it. It's just an amazing movie. And then Return of the Jedi goes on A tier. I have the exact same poster in the background. I don't know if you can see it. I have the exact same Return of the Jedi poster in the background. But yeah, um, yeah, I'm a huge fan of Return of the Jedi. It's really good. I think at the time when I was like 6, I was like Return of the Jedi is my favorite Star Wars movie. But now Empire Strikes Back is now. But it's still up there. I mean, seeing Luke finally have a full fight with Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine was fun. Just seeing like the Ewoks and stuff, it was fun. All of it was just fun. I liked it. It's not as good as A New Hope or Empire Strikes Back, but it's still better than everything else on the list that I put up there. Mandalorian is an immediately A tier. It's an amazing show. Really, really good. It was just like so good. It's one of the best things Star Wars has going right now, which I'm really hyped for season 3. I'm hyped for Ahsoka because Ahsoka is in the Mandalorian show, so I'm really hyped for that. Yeah, what others? You have Andor coming out, which I have to watch Rogue One soon so I can watch Andor. But yeah, I'm a hype for a lot of the Mandalorian stuff coming up. But I've seen a lot of people saying like, since most of the Star Wars stuff coming out hasn't reached the quality and greatness of Mandalorian, like Book of Boba Fett didn't really reach that a lot. Obi-Wan Kenobi, I guess, reached it on some episodes, but not a lot. People have just been getting worried that Star Wars is going to get carried by The Mandalorian, but I don't think that's the case because we have tons of really amazing Star Wars stuff coming out that I'm super hyped for. Like, I keep forgetting we have Tales of the Jedi coming out, too, in the fall, which is like a animated show and stuff. And then, of course, you have Andor with 12 episodes. That's how you should do Marvel shows, okay, Disney? Give Marvel 12 episodes, and then you got a perfect show. Anyway, like, yeah. I think that, yeah, it's really cool. Because, Andor is gonna, like, be... Andor is gonna be, like, going through different years, within, like... Andor is going to be going through Andor is going to be doing like 1 year every 3 episodes. So they're going to be going through like 4 years in the first season. And then I think that the whole season 2 is going to be like just the year before Rogue One, I guess. I don't know, that's what I've heard. I haven't watched Rogue One yet, but I have to. Book of Boba Fett is going to go on a B, I'm putting on a B tier for me because Book of Boba Fett was good, but it wasn't great. I mean, the show got completely saved in like the last 1, 2, 3, like last 4 episodes, last like 2 or 3 episodes, because Mandalorian shows up and stuff, and you get all the Mandalorian characters in Book of Boba Fett. So it's kind of like, oh, this is entertaining now, because Boba Fett was kind of a little bit boring at first. I mean, I like seeing the backstory of how Boba Fett learned like all the things with the staff with all the sand people that we saw on Mandalorian. But yeah, I mean, the show definitely got saved with the Mandalorian characters. But again, that just proves that when you give the main character title to not the main character, then the show gets better, because they gave the main character title to the Mandalorian basically in like the last like 2 episodes he was in, and then the finale Mandalorian was still in it, but it definitely felt like a Boba Fett show. And we saw Cad Bane, who's apparently in Clone Wars. I didn't know a lot about him, but I know he's in Clone Wars, that he had a history with like Fennec Shand and Boba Fett. So That's all I really know. I haven't seen him in Clone Wars yet, but yeah. Force Awakens probably goes on an A tier. I thought it was a very strong start to a Disney reboot of Star Wars. And that was this movie was the whole thing that got me into Star Wars, basically, because I saw like an advertisement for it one day as like a 5-year-old, and I was like, and I literally turned to my dad and said, I want to see that. So my mom was like, why don't we watch all the other Star Wars movies then? So we did, and that's how I got into Star Wars. Like, Star Wars is such a big part of why I started this channel. Like, Marvel's obviously a main part too, but Star Wars is one of the big parts because Star Wars is the franchise that got me into movies and watching all that kind of stuff. So, and this is the movie that made me want to watch Star Wars. So, yeah. And I remember going to see The Last Jedi in theaters. I remember going to see The Last Jedi with my parents in theaters too, like seeing Luke and stuff. I thought it was really cool. It was really nice. The Last Jedi, I think, is a good Star Wars movie. I don't know why people say that it's bad. I mean, I get why people say it's bad, but still, no. I think it's pretty good. It's pretty decent. They did Luke a little bit dirty, but still, I think that it's a really decent Star Wars film. I highly recommend watching it if you're going to do it in like chronological release order. I definitely recommend not skipping over this one because it's really good. Speaking of ones you should skip over, Star Wars Rise of Skywalker is not good. I'm putting it on C tier. It's going to actually go behind Attack of the Clones. But yeah, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, because I saw that movie in theaters 3 times when I was a kid, when I was like a little kid. So I was like I had seen Avengers. It was the same year Avengers Endgame came out, right? So I was like, wait, that ending where Rey says, I am all the Jedi, and Emperor Palpatine says, I am all the Sith. Isn't that kind of a copy of I Am Inevitable and I Am Iron Man? Right? Like, am I wrong? I mean, I feel like that's basically what it is. Like, I felt like that ending. I felt like that whole ending, like, then with, like, all the Resistance and stuff showing up, the Millennium Falcon and stuff showing up, that was basically a copy of the Portals moment in Avengers. I mean, I think they filmed both. I think they filmed Rise of Skywalker and Endgame at different times, but still, it felt a bit too much like, it felt just a little bit too much like Avengers Endgame, the way they ended it. But yeah, that's my ranking, guys, for the Star Wars stuff that I've seen. So, hey, Toronto. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Toronto. I don't know. Sorry. How would you? Is my stuff? Is my Star Wars ranking a W or O, guys? Do you guys think my Star Wars ranking is a W or L? Like, I still have to watch Solo, Bad Batch, Clone Wars, Rebels, and Rogue One. I don't think I'm gonna watch whatever the hell this show is right here. It just doesn't look that good. W, thanks. Thanks. You're getting a lot of W's, bro. You're getting a lot of W's. I got a W for my MCU ranking, and now I get a W for my Star Wars ranking. That's nice. But yeah, like, I don't think I'm gonna watch whatever the hell this show is. That, like, what is this? I see BB-8, but that's it. That makes me think that it's not canon. Because you can't see Rey in there. But yeah, the other stuff like Clone Wars, Rebels, Rogue One, Solo, Bad Batch, I still have to watch all that. But yeah, this is my final ranking for my Star Wars stuff. Now I'm going to move on to DC. Now, straight up, I'm going to put Aquaman there. Boom, boom. I have not watched the Justice League, neither will I ever in my life. So I have not seen Suicide Squad, Shazam, the Justice League, Aquaman, and Birds of Prey. But just so you guys know, don't get mad at me yet. I am going to be watching Shazam and Aquaman next week, along with the Joker, which I don't think is on this list. But I will be watching those next week, so I will have basically all the DCEU films done. So yeah, and the Joker isn't on here, so. And Birds of Prey and Suicide Squad I plan to watch. Not anytime soon, but probably like maybe late August or early September I'll watch those just to get them out of the way. But I will tell you right now, I'm never watching the 2016 Justice League movie. Never. I've already watched Zack Snyder's Justice League, so. Alright, so I'm going to kick things off with Zack Snyder's Justice League. Zack Snyder's Justice League is an S tier. I mean, it's really, really good. It's super good. I mean, it's one of my favorite comic book movies of all time. One of my top 10 or top 12 favorite movies of all time. It's so good. The movie's really long, too. So, I just split it up into like half and half. Or me and my dad watched 2 hours of Zack Snyder's Justice League in the morning, and then at night we finished it. It was really good, though. Really good. I haven't even watched the 2016 Justice League, and I know that it was better. Yeah. Moving on to Man of Steel, I think this is a B tier movie. Yeah, yeah, I know Justice. You're talking about 2016, right? Yeah, Justice League. I'm not even gonna watch it. I'm never gonna watch it, to be honest. So I don't want to experience how bad it is. So I mean, I've already experienced the good Justice League movie, but yeah, Man of Steel goes on a B tier. I mean, eesh. Yeah, it goes on a B tier. I love this movie. It's very, very, very overhated. It's very underrated. It's very, very overhated. Like, I know a lot of people somehow dislike this movie. No, I don't think a lot of people dislike this movie, do they? No. It's still, I enjoy the movie a lot. I thought that the whole movie was great. It's directed by Zack Snyder, so, and he made Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League, so I thought that it was really good in that sense. Like, I just love the Superman Zod. The one thing that I kept pointing out to my dad, that he kept pointing out to me when we were watching it, is how, like, how are they gonna repair the whole city after what Zod and Superman did when they were fighting, bro? I mean, then it happened again, in some other movies too. I forget. I think it was Batman v Superman or something. But yeah. All right, that's my ranking for Superman. I enjoyed the movie a lot. One theory that I have for San Diego Comic-Con, the DC panel, that I think some people have thrown around a little bit, is what if when they go on stage for Black Adam, they bring Henry Cavill out and announce that he will be in Black Adam, that they're going to fight each other in the movie. Like, I swear to God, that's probably not going to happen. I'm not getting my hopes up, but I would bet $10 on it. I ain't betting any higher than $10, but I bet $10 on it that happens. Like, that would be insane. And then to follow that up, they also confirmed Man of Steel 2, which would be amazing. Like, yeah. That would be like the X-Men level of shock that I was for Miss Marvel. But it would just be like 10 times higher, because I'd be like, oh my god, they actually did that. They're actually bringing Henry Cavill back as Superman, and he's not going to be a headless cameo. Alright. Suicide Squad is an A-tier movie. I love the movie. It's James Gunn. Of course I'm going to love the movie. I mean, it leans a ton into the violence. When I tell you it leans into the violence, it leans into the Suicide Squad leans into the violence. I love all the characters of it. I thought it was a hilarious movie. It was emotional. It was brutal and bloody, but it had a lot of great characters too. Like, I love the villain too of it. Really, really good. Yeah, and to follow that up, since it's not on this list, I couldn't find a list with Peacemaker on here. But if we were talking about Peacemaker, Peacemaker would be on the A tier with Suicide Squad, just so you guys know, because it's not on this list for some reason. I don't know why, but Peacemaker would go on an A tier because that show is so good. I think right now, for me, I haven't watched The Boys, but I'm sure if I would, I think it's the best comic book show of this year. But I think the best comic book show this year is Peacemaker, because I haven't watched The Boys. I don't know if it's worth watching. From what I've heard, it's good. It's worth watching, but yeah. Oh God, Wonder Woman 1984 has to be a E tier. That's the lowest tier. That movie's terrible. It's not good at all. It's really not. It's just the villain is absolutely terrible. The villain's terrible, but what are you gonna do? The movie's not great. I mean, I would usually, when I don't like a movie, I'm like, well, at least it was entertaining, because I usually find bad movies entertaining. This movie just wasn't entertaining either. This was just a straight up terrible movie. I have nothing else to say about this. I thought that Wonder Woman was a B tier. Wonder Woman 1 is a B tier movie. I really liked it. I'm gonna rename terrible. I spelled bad. Good. No, you know what? Meh. Good. And then I'll move those two up. If we're talking about the way I just ranked it, I'd move Man of Steel up here. So Wonder Woman, okay, just forget about that little edit that I made. I just wanted to rename them so now it's terrible, which is where Wonder Woman 1984 is. Bad, there's nothing there. Man, there's nothing in meh. Wonder Woman 1 goes in good. The Suicide Squad goes in great, and Amazing goes to Justice League and Man of Steel. Yeah, I mean, I loved Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman 1 to be specific. I really liked it. It was really good. Definitely worth watching again, to be honest. Way more than Wonder Woman 1984. Ugh. And then Batman v Superman, what is it called? The Ultimate Edition. I watched that. I watched the Ultimate Edition. Like, I really liked that movie, Batman v Superman. I was kind of confused with how Wonder Woman played into all of it, but and then the death of Superman. I think Superman died in Batman v Superman in the Zack Snyder version, or instead when Joss Whedon did Justice League, they brought him back to life or something, right? But yeah, this is kind of a weird ranking because there's so many other stuff I haven't. I think this is like the most stuff I haven't watched in a franchise, so it's kind of like a little bit of a shorter tier list. But this is my final tier list for DC. I'll read it to you guys. Wonder Woman 1984 is terrible. There's nothing in my bad or meh tier. Good is Wonder Woman 1. Great is Batman v Superman and the Suicide Squad. And then amazing is Zack Snyder's Justice League and Man of Steel. And then Aquaman, Justice League, Birds of Prey, Shazam, and Suicide Squad I have not seen. But next week I am watching Aquaman and Shazam. And Joker. Alright, it's my DC ranking in WRL. This is my final ranking, so I'm going to start to close things up after this. Yeah. I'm going to start to close things up after this. I just need an answer. If I get another W, bro. If I get another W, then that's insane. Do you all think my ranking is a dub? If my DC ranking's a W or an L? Hard one, but W. Yeah, I mean, I guess it could be a hard one because I haven't watched like 5 of the other movies, so it's difficult to decide like if it's a W or L because I haven't ranked that much. Oh, you love my vid? Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, this is my DC ranking. For the stuff I've seen, I don't know why the shows aren't on here or anything, but alright, I'm gonna go over all my rankings and then I'm gonna start to close stuff up. So this is my MCU ranking. I'll read all my rankings off to you guys, then I'm going to end the stream and close up. So my MCU ranking. For epic tier, it goes to Avengers, Captain America the Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, Civil War, Ragnarok, Endgame, Infinity War, Loki, No Way Home. Great tier goes to Iron Man, Captain America 1, Age of Ultron, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Spider-Man Homecoming, Black Panther, Falcon Winter Soldier, Shang-Chi, Love and Thunder, and Ms. Marvel. Good tier goes to Thor, Iron Man 3, Ant-Man, Doctor Strange, WandaVision, Eternals, Moon Knight, and Doctor Strange 2. Bad tier goes to Incredible Hulk, Thor 2, Ant-Man the Wasp, Far From Home, and Black Widow. Terrible goes to Iron Man 2, Captain Marvel, What If, and Hawkeye. Now my Star Wars ranking goes S tier, which is God tier basically, A New Hope, and Empire Strikes Back. A tier is Return of the Jedi and Mandalorian and Force Awakens. B tier is Attack of the Clone. Is Phantom Menace, Revenge of the Sith, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Boba Fett, and The Last Jedi. C tier is Star Wars, is The Rise of Skywalker and Attack of the Clones. And then I haven't seen The Bad Batch, Solo, whatever the hell this thing is, Rogue One, Clone Wars, and the Rebels. And now my DCEU ranking is amazing tier Zack Snyder's Justice League and Man of Steel. Great tiers The Suicide Squad, Batman v Superman, and Peacemaker, but for some reason it's not on the tier list. Good tier goes to Wonder Woman 1, and then There's Nothing in Meh and Nothing in Bad tier. Terrible tier goes to Wonder Woman 1984, although I am excited for Wonder Woman 3, I think that's coming. And then haven't seen but will watch is Aquaman and Shazam, but then haven't seen, straight up probably won't watch, is the Justice League. Stuff I'm gonna watch but not immediately is Birds of Prey and Suicide Squad. But yeah, those were my rankings. And I also have my small review for Everything Everywhere All at Once, which was a very fun movie. I cannot get over how fun of a movie that was. But yeah, this was a super fun stream to do. It was kind of fun to not do like a spoiler talk for something, Like I did a spoiler talk for Stranger Things Volume 2. I did one for Ms. Marvel Episode 5, Love and Thunder, and then the finale of Ms. Marvel. Those were the only live streams I've done, so this was kind of fun to just do a live stream that I wanted to do, and just do stuff on a live stream that I wanted to do. I'll have a great day. Thank you, man. I really appreciate you talking positive in my chat. I really, really appreciate that a lot. You're one of the supporters that like always comments good stuff in my videos or live streams and stuff, and I appreciate it so much, man. You have no idea how much I appreciate it. But yeah, this is a really fun stream. It was kind of fun to do something instead of a spoiler talk, like I just said. It was fun to give a review for Everything Everywhere All at Once, and then move on to ranking Marvel, DC, and Star Wars and stuff, because I actually loved doing that. That was really fun. Everything Everywhere All at Once is an amazing movie. It's my second favorite movie of the year, right behind the Batman. And yeah, my MCU ranking. Surprisingly, I got all W's. Surprisingly, sorry about that video that I've had. That was a pitch meeting video I was watching. Yeah. I would love doing this stream. I love all the support in my chat. People coming in saying hi, and some people that stuck around for the whole entire stream, which is insane. I don't know how you'd stick around for a stream like this. I feel like people would just watch for 2 minutes and then leave, because it's pretty boring, because it get boring, but apparently it doesn't get boring, so I appreciate that. But yeah, just a heads up, guys. I mentioned this in my last live stream, and I mentioned it at the beginning of this one. I am going away, so there will be no videos on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, because I will be away for those days. Although I'll be back on Wednesday, I'm just not going to do... I'll be like on the plane back, so I'm not going to be doing anything that day. I'll just relax that day. But yeah, but my videos will start again on Thursday. So I'll be making more videos on Thursday. I'll probably try to do at least 3 or 4 videos on Thursday, just to catch up with all the stuff. Unless some huge news drops, like on Wednesday or something. Because if some big news drops on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday, I'm screwed because I'm not gonna be able to cover it because I'll be on vacation. But yeah, this is my last video slash stream sort of thing. Before I go away on Thursday. Before I go away tomorrow morning. So yeah, I'm praying that there's gonna be no big news. I'm praying there's gonna be absolutely no big news or anything, um, while I'm gone. But if there is, there is. I'll cover it when I get back. But yeah, guys, um, this was really fun. I cannot wait to get back with YouTube and stuff, and I will definitely be yeah, I'll be uh yeah, I'm gonna be away, so I'm not gonna be able to do any videos and stuff. So I'm not gonna be able to I obviously don't have the subscriber amount to do like YouTube community posts. I wish I could do those. Like, I wish I could do community posts, because if I could do community posts on YouTube, I'd be like, I'll do those, but I can't. I obviously don't have the right amount of subscribers yet. Like, I'm too far away from the amount of subscribers I need. But yeah, like, super fun live stream. I can't wait to cover more stuff. We got Comic-Con next week, so I think I'm going to be doing a live stream for Marvel's Comic-Con panel on Saturday. I don't think I'm going to do one for Friday, because that's early and during the day. So I'm going to be doing a live stream for Marvel's Comic-Con. I won't do one for the DC one, because that's going to be during the day when I have stuff going on. So, but my next live stream is going to be when I do for the San Diego Comic-Con for the Marvel panel. Just we'll be talking about theories, what we think they're going to be releasing and stuff, like just talking about stuff that we think that they're talking about until they announce it, or somebody reports it or something, because that's probably what's going to happen. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning into this stream. This is one of the most fun streams I've done, right next to my Thor: Love and Thunder stream. But yeah, I had tons of fun, and I will see you guys on Thursday when I post when I skip